Okay, the first thing I want you to do, shut up. First thing I want you to do is put your name on it. You guys, come on now.
So we get 100 grams of.
Guys, focus up. Anytime you have a story problem, what's going to be your first step?
A story problem?
Yeah, we have a story problem.
Oh, you gotta read it.
Yep, step 1 is always going to be read the whole thing.
What is it?
Okay. Jesus, can you read sentence 1? Donato, can you read sentence 2? Carlos, sentence 3. Gael, sentence 4. Angel, sentence 5. Robert, sentence 6. And Paul, sentence 7. And go.
You're in a change of
Charge.
You're in charge of buying meat for the barbecue.
Yep, it's all to get both pork and beef.
Carlos.
What is the
Nope, you're on pork. You're on pork.
Pork costs $2.
Oh!
Pork costs
Pork
$2.99.
costs $2.99 per pound, and beef costs $5.99 per pound.
If your max budget is $150.
Angel.
Write an equation that models how much of each you can get.
Robert.
Use P for pork and B for meat.
Okay, this is my bad because I wrote this. I wanted real life problems. So I should have had a comma here instead of that. The right shouldn't be capitalized, and this should be an and, not an and.
Come on, man. It's not a mistake.
I'm allowed to have mistakes. I'm a human. Come on now. Okay, you guys. The second thing you want to do is you're going to circle, underline, or highlight key info.
Wait, did we write that down?
If I'm writing it, you are. Paul, can you give me something I should highlight? What's important information? Just one thing. Shh. Guys, the background sounds are distracting. Donato, give me something I can highlight. And Gael, give me something I can highlight.
The cost for beef and pork.
Okay, how much does beef cost?
Beef, $5.99.
Okay, Donato, what else am I highlighting?
$2.99.
That means
Make sure you got it with the pork. Okay, we've got our key things. They're also giving me this. Okay, shh. Step 3. You're going to write your equation. We're going to write the equation. So it's pretty straightforward. If I told you we bought 5 pounds of pork, how much money did we spend?
that's a lot of pork.
It is. But if you're buying it for a work party, you need a lot of food, right?
Now you get what you get.
Well, wouldn't you be happier if they bought you a lot so you could eat what you want?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm asking you 3 times now. What if I bought 5 pounds of pork? How much did I spend?
5 pounds?
If I bought 5 pounds, how much did I spend?
You can spend.
Just tell me how you do it. You don't have to give me the number.
You do a 5 times 5.
Multiply it. So if we don't know how much, guys, if we don't know how many pounds of pork we're getting, it's just $2.99 times however much we get. What about for beef? $5.99 times however much beef we get. Okay? Now, do these add together, subtract together, multiply, or divide to get us our final how much we spent?
Nothing.
Nope. Nope.
You
Add.
Add. And how much can I spend?
150.
Is 150 the most I can spend or the least I can spend?
The most.
The most. Can I spend all of it?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
You know, but I wouldn't. So you could have 50.
Step 4 is you're just going to check that your equation makes sense.
Slap me a 20 for that guy.
We want it to be reasonable. You guys follow? And step 5 is usually we're going to evaluate, which just means plug in. You're going to plug in whatever numbers they give you. Under here, we're going to make a quick little note for ourselves. I'm going to pause for a second to get you there.
What did it say? Reasonable?
Reasonable, yes. Make sure it's reasonable. Robert, what are you doing? Shouldn't be on your computer right now. Okay, we're gonna add some notes right here at the bottom. Just here, right here in the bottom, we're gonna make a little note for ourselves. If it says at most, it's like this, where it's equal to. And it doesn't matter the direction, as long as the inequality is facing the number that it's at most, whatever that number is. Okay? If it says more than, sorry, I should say no more than. No more than, it doesn't have the underline. If it says at least, it's going to be the other direction with the underline. And if it says less than, it's not going to have the underline. Just a quick cheat sheet because I'm pretty sure that's the part that you guys need help with. So now let's go through each little section. If I get 50 pounds of pork, what am I plugging in? I'm plugging in P equals 50. Gentlemen, focus. We're going to take this whole equation, write it down, but instead of P, what are we going to write instead?
50.
Exactly. Who has a calculator? You should all have calculators. Robert, can you help us out for this one? Tell us what 299 times 50 is. Gael, you got me on the next step.
Look, Robert, look at that right there. I bet.
149.5.
Okay, so you're spending $149.50 on the pork. How much do you have left to spend on the beef?
None.
Not really anything, right?
Not anything about that.
You got 50 cents. If you did that, I don't think you'd be in charge of the meat for the next barbecue. So we're going to figure out how much beef you could actually get. We just divide by the $5.99. Okay, Gael, it's your turn to help us out. 0.5 divided by 5.99.
25 divided by 599.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a big old number.
It's long. Just give me 2
I
digits.
got 0.08.
Yep. That's how many pounds you can get.
It's like one strip of pizza.
That's like a crumb. That's sad, right? You ready?
Okay, good.
Okay. If I only get beef, how much pork am I getting?
Not because you only get beef.
Exactly. So I'm getting no pork. So I'm going to take the same equation. What's 0 times 299? 0. How do I get that beef alone? Hey, Seuss, can you help me with that? I want that b by itself. Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Divide. What am I dividing by? Yeah, to 599. Donato, you got a calculator with you? Can you do 150 divided by 599?
You said 150 divided by 159, right?
This. 25 what?
25.0.
Isn't it 0.04? So when you're doing like the math without actually interpreting it, keep at least 2 decimal places. So you're totally right. This is how many pounds you could get max. Basically 25 pounds and a tiny bit over. What does domain mean, you guys? Do you remember this from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 and geometry? Basically, it's what it can be. What's allowed? What makes sense? So it's basically anything it's allowed to be. What's the littlest pork I could get?
Littlest?
What's the smallest amount? Can I get negative?
No.
What? So what's the smallest? Do I have to get any?
No.
What's the most I could get?
0.
No, that's the least I could get.
Like, what?
No, the most. So take 50, $150, right?
The most you can get 50 pounds.
And divide it by 299. And you're really close. It's almost 50 pounds. It's 50.50. And it repeats forever. Anytime it repeats forever, you can just put a line over what repeats, and that's what it means. It means it repeats forever. So this is our domain for our pork. What about for beef? What's the least beef I could get? 0. What's the most beef I could get? If I got no pork, how much beef would I get? 2504. Does that make sense?
No.
Want me to break it down?
No.
So, you just want to be confused?
Nah, I want you to.
You just want to be done? Okay. Do you need a break, or do you want to get it done?
Get it done.
Okay. When you're ready, turn the page.
Might have the fourth page.
Okay. Go ahead and highlight what's important.
So we skip step 1 and 2.
I like the whole thing.
Carlos, give me one thing that's important.
There you go.
It's
Tell me what to highlight.
Should read everything.
Shh.
costs 30 cents per mile when you drive.
Yeah, that's one thing that you needed to highlight. Donato, give me something.
99 cents per snack.
Carlos, give me something.
50.
$50 is important, but there's something that I need to know if that's the biggest or the smallest it can be.
Wait.
the biggest because it says at most. Okay. Write your equation. Gael, help me write my equation.
Let me tell you.
Hey, Sus, you're going to check him. If he gets it wrong, you're going to help him out.
Okay.
First of all, what's my letters? What's my variables? Yeah.
And add, so you do 20, 30, and,
It is plus.
okay, plus 99, 3.
Okay. And what's my budget?
50,
And is 50 the most I can spend or the least I can spend?
the most,
So that means it's facing the 50.
taking 50 with the little 9 in it.
Yeah, because we can spend all 50.
Miss, can I make a phone call?
In the hall, yeah. Okay, we've got our equation. Angel, can you read the first sentence? And yeah, there's only one sentence. Go ahead, Angel, read that one.
If you drive to
Bruceville.
20 miles one way, what is the maximum number of snacks you can have and still be able to afford a return trip?
Robert, what's the key word there that they're asking us about? And then Paul, I'm going to be calling on you next, so you want to make sure you're paying attention.
What is the maximum number of snacks?
Yeah, max snacks. Maximize your snacks. Max snacks. Okay. So if it's 20 miles one direction, Paul, how far is it round trip? What is it? 20 miles there, 20 miles back. How far did you go? Really?
40.
Thank you.
60,
Go ahead.
range.
So we're going to take this equation and we're just going to plug in 40 and figure out how many snacks we can get. Carlos, what's 0.3 times 40?
0.3 times 40.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Then Jesus, I'm going to be asking you the next step after that. Then Gael, then Angel, then everyone. I'm going to be just going in a circle.
12.
It is 12.
Oh, wait, put it on me.
Okay. Jesus, what's my next step?
Okay.
Yeah, subtract the 12 from both sides. Gael, what is 50 take away 12?
38.
Mm-hmm. Angel, what's my next step?
Divide
Divide by what?
99.
Good.
Wait.
I know what he meant. Robert, what do we get? What is 38 divided by 0.99? It is 38.38. Now, Paul, make this real. This is the equation that we get as our answer. I can't get 38.38 snacks, so how many snacks can I get?
You can only get 38.
38. Can't round up? Yeah, but is the cashier going to sell, if it costs you $1 and you only have 38 cents, are they going to sell it to you?
Maybe.
Only if they really love you, right?
That's what you get free for that.
Donato, if I don't get any snacks, how far can I go? So let's make it simple. What am I going to be plugging in? What number do I have? Do I know how many snacks I'm getting? Do I know how many miles I'm going? I have to know one or the other. Which one do I know?
Your miles. Oh, wait.
This one.
Oh, yeah, you know your miles.
Okay, how far are we going? Where does it say how many miles?
You're going 12 miles that way and 20 miles back.
Nope, doesn't say any of that.
Oh, you don't know anything in that one.
We do. No snacks.
Oh.
No snacks means we're plugging in S equals 0. So we're going to take this guy and just plug it into this equation. Boom. Oh, you can't see it. What's 0 times 99?
0.
How do I get the miles alone? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Jesus, what do I do? Mm-hmm. Paul, can you get me that number? 50 divided by 0.3? Anytime it repeats, you can just write it one time and put a line over it, and that means it repeats forever. Yeah. Okay, now think about it. One way, how far can you go? If this is both directions, right? This is round trip. How far can I go one direction?
One direction, 166.66666.
Sure, but then I can't get back.
Well, you said one way. You said one direction.
Yeah, but if we want to get back on the same tank, on the same money, if I want to get back, how far could I go? Yeah, divided by 2. If that's the case, it would be 83.3. So it's a little bit, it's not quite to Dallas. It's like Waxahachie or... They have some good barbecue. Oh, guys, come on now. Focus up, focus up. All right, last question on this one. Last part. Domain. What's the minimum? Right, we're doing miles and snacks. What's the minimum miles you can go? Can I have negatives? Can I have 0? I see you nodding your head, so I'm writing it down. Now, we just figured out how many miles we could go if we didn't have any snacks. So how many miles could we go? One direction. Mm-hmm. So that's the round trip. How do I have to get snacks? Nope. And what's the most snacks I could get? Well, to figure that out, you just do 50 divided by 99 cents, right? Because you got $50 and it costs 99 cents per each one. You should get 50.50. And the 50 repeats over and over. So we use the 50.50. Pretty simple. Go ahead and flip to the last one.
Wait, I didn't get that.
All right, I'll pause. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and read it, highlight, and write the equation.
Does we got anything to do after this one?
Yeah. Okay, guys.
That's why I'm listening.
Go ahead and highlight. You guys tell me what to highlight. Give me, pardon? Give me something specific. Good, good. What else should we highlight? Yeah, ranch hand is $12. Donato, how much you make as a line cook? Is that right?
That's not how much I make.
You make more?
I make $2 more.
Good.
I make
That's good.
good.
Well, it's better than this.
Better than what you making something?
Okay.
I'm making basically 8 an hour. When I first started, I was making $7.75. Actually, no, $7.25.
All right, guys. What are you? Hey, guys. I don't want the video to be 5 million, hours long. So let's keep it short. Help me write an equation. What are my variables we're using?
Yeah, ranch hand.
R for ranch and L for line, right?
Yeah.
How much do you make as a ranch hand? How much do you make as a line cook?
75.
How much do you need to make in a year?
20,000.
You got to make that much at minimum. Now, you guys, honestly, you can make less than that and still live on your own, but you're probably going to need roommates and to split some bills and find some ways to save money. So,
PlayStation.
you do not have to write this down, but I want to go over it with you very quickly. Guys, if you have it, guys, please listen. Sometimes they'll ask the question in this direction, and sometimes they'll give you an equation. Like, let's say it's 15R plus 9L has to be bigger than or equal to 29,500. How much, in this equation, how much are you making as a ranch hand? Which one, what's with the R right now?
15.
So that's how much you would make as a ranch hand. How much would you make as a line cook in this one?
9.
And how much would you need to make ends meet every year? 29,500. So they can ask it either direction. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable with going from one to the other. Okay, so if I can only work, I'm going to say at most. If I can work at most 60 hours a week, this is going to be your second equation. So it's like R plus L. You can only work up to 60 hours a week. If you work more than that, it's going to be really hard on your body. Okay. I'll give you guys a second. How many hours a week are you working as a line cook in this one?
25.
No. Line cook.
Oh, 20.
How many as a ranch hand?
25.
Now this is a week, but this 26,000, this is for a year. So we need to go from weeks to years, right?
52.
So multiply it by the 52. Robert, can you do 20 times 52? Angel, can you do 25 times 52 and get us our numbers?
1,040.
Yep.
I know one year.
I got 1,000.
That's good. Okay, this is how many hours, right? This is in hours. This is how many hours per year you're working. So now we're going to take this equation and plug in these hours. So it's going to be 12 times, how many hours are you working as a ranch hand?
24.
No?
What?
In a year.
1,300.
Mm-hmm. This is how many hours you're working. And, pardon?
The first letter of the equation?
12 times.
That's 12 and then it's per hour.
What's in front of the 12?
Dollar sign. We're hoping that this is more than 26,000. Okay, Donato, can you give me 12 times 1,300? Jesus, can you give me 725 times 1040?
Right? 15,600.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus, can you give me this one? 725 times 1040.
7, 5, 4, 0.
Okay. Carlos, can you put those together for me and tell me how much we're making? 15,600 plus 7,540.
Damn it.
Read it one more time. 15,600.
I forgot to put the plus sign.
Oh, plus 7,540.
23,140.
Can I afford to live on my own?
No.
Yeah, no.
So this is a no.
That says 2,240. You put another zero.
That's a 1, not a comma.
You're big.
You're okay.
What does that mean?
Did it say a name?
Guys, focus up, focus up. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. What's the least amount of hours I could work as a ranch hand and as a farm hand? I mean, as a line cook. What's the smallest I could work for one or the other? What if I worked only ranch? How many hours would I work as a line cook? 0. Now, what's the most hours I can work as a ranch hand? Pardon?
45.
No. How many hours can I work in a week?
Oh, 60.
Basically, but we're going to do 60 times 52 because we're talking in years. I think it's going to be 31
Wrong.
something. I don't know. Tell me what 60 times 52 is.
3,120.
20?
Wait, what?
60 down 52. Alright, 31. I know what I'm doing.
That's how many hours in a year for that you could work at. If you did 60-hour work weeks, that's how many hours you work in a year. So you can't plug in a number bigger than that, okay? We're almost done. I just want to talk to you about one more thing. Tell me when I could scroll. Okay. So let's say, guys, sometimes they'll give you the equations. So they give us, so we have these 2 equations, okay? If they give me that I work as a ranch hand 40 hours a week and that I work as a line cook 26 hours a week, I want to know if I can make ends meet and if that's inside the hours. Does that make sense? So let's just check for both. How many hours a week would I be working? If I work 40 hours a week plus 26 hours a week, how much is that in 1 week?
He said 66.
You right? Is that okay?
No.
Right? Too many hours.
You could just do 40, 20.
Okay, that's too many hours. But does that, if I worked overtime like that, would I work for my budget? Would that work for the budget? So the easiest way for me to show you that is I'd literally get my calculator to rotate. I would do 12 times, how many hours is a ranch hand?
40.
Okay, plus 725 times 26. That's how much you're making in a week, and then multiply it by your 52 weeks. So we'd be making it'd work for our budget, but it wouldn't work for our sanity, right? We wouldn't, time-wise, it doesn't work. Follow? So when you're doing this, you have to check for both equations. And that's pretty much everything. Let me show you what you need to get done today.